Today's topic is a heavy but important one. We're diving into recent research from the Australian Catholic University that reveals some unsettling data on child sexual abuse by religious leaders. Grab a seat, take a deep breath, and let's get into it. This study was spearheaded by the Institute of Child Protection Studies at the Australian Catholic University. According to their findings, about 0.4% of Australians, which is roughly 87,000 individuals, experienced sexual abuse during childhood by religious leaders or adults. That's 1 in every 250 Australians. Let that sink in for a moment. What's even more alarming is that Catholic-run organizations accounted for nearly 3/4 of these cases. Specifically, 71.9% of the reported incidents involved Catholic organizations. Other Christian denominations like Anglican, Jehovah's Witness, and Orthodox groups followed at 21.8%. Non-Christian religious organizations made up 5.1% of the cases. This analysis, which was published in the journal Child Abuse and Neglect, drew from data collected by the Australian Child Maltreatment Study. Over 8,500 Australians aged 16 and above were surveyed about their childhood experiences. Here's a startling insight. Boys were more frequently abused than girls by religious perpetrators, with boys at 0.8% and girls at 0.1%. Most of the perpetrators were men, and the majority of victims were between 7 and 11 years old when the abuse began. But there is a glimmer of hope in these dark findings. The prevalence of such abuse has declined over time. For men aged 65 and older, the prevalence was 2.2%. Compare that to men aged 16 to 24, where the number is down to 0.2%. This decline is largely credited to government inquiries, heightened awareness, better monitoring, and child-safe regulations. However, the lead researcher emphasized that our vigilance must continue. Child sexual abuse by religious perpetrators is particularly egregious. It has affected far too many Australians, and we must support those who have experienced it. It is heartening that the prevalence has declined over time. Government inquiries, increased awareness and monitoring, and child-safe regulations have influenced this decline. But the work is far from over, he said. So, what can we do? We need to stay informed, support victims, and keep pushing for stricter regulations and better monitoring systems. The fight is far from over, but every step forward is a victory for those who have suffered. For more Christian news, subscribe to our newsletter,